Hey everybody, welcome to our craft project for teens for this month. We are going to make chalkboard picture frames. This is a fun, a little bit messy project, so make sure that you've got a clean surface to work with that's covered and well protected. And like I've used this little sunflower mat, and I've got newspapers around me, so you don't want to mess up anything, especially if you're at home. And that's the most important thing. And the supplies that you will need are old picture frames. You can get them at the dollar store. You can get them at Goodwill. Your mom and dad probably have some hanging around the house. You might have some as well that you don't use anymore. And you need a special kind of paint called chalkboard paint. Mine is a little bit messy, but I'll show you kind of what it looks like. I got this at Walmart, super easy to find, and you can also get it at stores like Michael's. You need various paint brushes and paint for the frame, which is optional if you also want to paint your frame. And another optional supply are stickers or bling, whatever you want to do with your frame. And at the end of the video, I'll give you some ideas about how to decorate your frame in cool ways. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I've got a 5x7 picture frame here, an old picture frame. Actually, it's new. It's from the dollar store, but if you want to really want to do this project and you don't have a picture frame at home, go to the dollar store and grab one of these. Really cheap. Also, they have larger and smaller sizes. If you're going to use this as a chalkboard, probably you don't want to go too much smaller than a 5x7 because you want to be able to write stuff on it. So first thing we're going to do is go to the back, and we're going to take the back off. And there's always a little piece of paper or cardboard or something in there to protect the glass. We'll just get rid of that. You won't need that again. And you're going to take the glass out of the frame. Now you want to be careful because the glass is, now you can't even see it on there, but it is here. See my hands underneath it? So the corners are a bit sharp, so be careful with that. So we can lay it down flat, and this is where my Bob Ross comes out because I find this very calming to paint this chalkboard frame. So very easy. I've got this little palette here. If you don't have a palette like this, that's okay. You can just put some chalkboard paint on a paper plate and go to town. So I'm using a foam brush. You can also use a regular paintbrush like this. The foam brushes are kind of fun to use. And let's start painting. You're actually going to need to do a couple layers. Yes, this is when I feel like Bob Ross a little bit. Nice even layers. It's very calming. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get a good layer on there. And you don't want it to be chunky or, have uneven parts. If it's a little uneven, it's okay, but you don't want to overdo it on this first layer. Get where my finger was here. You're going to get a little bit on your finger, so. Okay, so just nice even strokes. Oops, it's moving. Okay, there we go. So that's fast, doesn't take long. And this is going to have to dry. And that takes about, I'm saying, if you don't use anything to help it dry, it's going to take a good probably half hour. I did use a blow dryer to make it dry quickly. So you can have that option as well, or put it in front of a fan or something, or outside for a little while. It'll dry faster. But you do have another task to do while this is drying. So I'm going to take this and set it aside for now. Yeah, and when you pick it up, you can see, okay, it's a little bit, you can see through it. So you're going to definitely need another layer there. I'm going to set it aside. Now we're going to go to our frame. And take the front of the frame. We're going to paint this. So one of my favorite colors is this turquoise teal color right here. I actually was practicing before I filmed this, so I have painted one already. That's why there's some in here already. So you can squeeze some out with paint. This is the paint that I'm using. You can get this at Walmart. Make sure you shake it real good to even out the color. And you're going to use another paintbrush. You don't want to use the same paintbrush that you used unless you clean it. I mean, if you want to clean the brush that you used for the chalkboard paint, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm using another one. Again, you can see the paint's already on there because I was doing this ahead of time. I practiced. So again, you can use one of these little palettes or just put some paint on a paper plate or whatever's easier for you. So here we go. We're going to start painting over that. Now this might require a couple layers as well. And you want to make sure that they're even so things don't get clumpy and they don't look uneven. When I said this might require 2 layers, what I meant was if you want it to have a distressed look, 1 layer is good enough. I kind of like the distressed look, not everybody does. But it looks distressed now, is what I mean. It's not completely uniformly coated. So, okay, now here's where, you're gonna have to pick it up. So you're gonna get some paint on your hand. So it might be handy to have some wet wipes or a wet paper towel or something to keep your fingers clean. Unless you don't care. I'm getting the edges. Sorry, my arm's in the way. Not an expert at filming this stuff, but originally this was going to be an in-person program, so I was hoping to see you guys, but we had to change it to a virtual program, so just trying to keep filming these as best as I can. All right, so what do you guys think of that? A little bit more here and there? I always love when you guys come in because you're always so much better at all this than me, so I can learn from you, but right now you have to learn from me. Okay, so just make sure that's even. Sorry, my hands are in the way. Okay, so you want to get the front of it and then the edges again. Looks pretty good. And again, if you want it to have a uniform coat, you just have to do this again. You have to let it dry. You can get a blow dryer or a fan and dry it faster that way. Okay, so I'm probably gonna leave mine like this. I'm gonna let this dry now. Okay, we are now ready to apply a second coat of chalkboard paint to our frame. So I'm gonna need a little bit more chalkboard paint, so I'm just gonna put it right there. Oop, like that. Okay, and let's apply a nice even coat, and that should do it for the paint. That's about how much you're gonna need, 2 coats. And you'll notice the second coat makes a huge difference. When I lift it up, you'll see it's not opaque or translucent. It's pretty solid. Remember, nice even strokes. You don't want it to be too clumpy or bumpy because when it dries it's going to be that way, and then your surface won't be smooth when you're writing with it with the chalk, writing on it with a chalk. Go over it again. It's so dark. Okay, and I'll lift it up. You'll see, not so see-through anymore. There's a few points where it's a little bit see-through, but okay, I'm gonna set this aside. And I actually did pause the video and I blow dried the other one. I applied a second coat and blow dried it, so it's all ready to go. Okay, so this is the final product. Well, not quite. We have to add the frame to it, but this is all dried, 2 coats, and we also have our dried frame, which mine has the distressed look. And so we're gonna put it back together again. Now, before you put this back together, you can also decorate the frame. I have some ideas that I'm going to show you. I might as well put it back together first, though. Okay, so you're going to apply the glass again. You know, the chalkboard paint side is down. So that's important. An important thing to note, too, is don't throw away your cardboard, because you're going to need that to put it back. Oops, wrong side. To put it all back together. Okay, so we're set like, and oh, so cute. Okay, so what we can do now is decorate the frame. You can do all kinds of things to decorate the frame. You can use puffy paint. You can use, which I have some right here. I might just show you a few things with puffy paint right now. You can use bling like this. These are little sticky back stickers, gem stickers. You can put stickers on them. You can, because I didn't do all these things, I found them on Pinterest. I'm going to put some ideas out here for you as well. Here's an idea. It looks like they might have used either, I don't even think this is puffy paint, but they made little polka dots with probably just a paintbrush and some white paint. These are like those little flower stickies you can put on your frame. This is one idea. This idea is really cool too. I found all these on Pinterest. So you can take a piece of paper and cut it and put it inside of the frame as well. They put a little flower on the edge. And another idea I have is you can paint actually around the chalkboard frame. I did this program in person a couple years ago, and some of you were so creative, and you painted some flowers or designs actually on the chalkboard itself. Just make sure that you don't paint all over it, because then you won't have room to write messages. So there's another idea. I liked this one. It was super cute. They have a, it kind of looks like ours. It's a little bit fancier, but right here, I don't know if you can see it, but what it is, it's a little handle or a little place to put a piece of chalk, and I think they just use a clothespin for that. So there's another idea. And finally, someone they made their chalkboard picture frame into a calendar. So you might need a bigger one than 5x7, but you can use an 11x14 as well for that. So there's some ideas about what you can do. What I'm going to do with you now is use puffy paint to decorate the frame. So puffy paint is fun and easy. I did a program back over in the summertime with puffy paint socks, so I'm kind of a puffy paint expert. So this puffy paint, I bought at Walmart. I buy everything at Walmart, if you couldn't tell already. And I think you want to shake it up a little bit before you use it, but let's just put some polka dots in there. What's cool about puffy paint is that it has some, it's not flat. It puffs up. So it creates kind of a three-dimensional look. And again, this is just one way you can decorate your frame. I'm going to tell you guys, you might hear some background noise. My husband is a teacher, and he's teaching from home downstairs in the basement. So that might be what you hear. My girls are also home. They're doing their e-learning upstairs in their rooms. And then I'm down here on the first floor doing this. So everybody is making noise. I am sure you can understand that. I just came up with this idea last minute to use the puffy paint, so I think it's kind of cool. All right, there's one way to decorate. It doesn't have to be that way. You can do whatever you want. I showed you guys those ideas. So I'm going to let this dry. And the last step I want to mention to you is what they want you to do for the last step is you let your paint dry for a few days. You don't want to use these right away. So I probably 1 day is fine. So I'd say wait 1 day, and then you want to take the side of a piece of chalk and rub it all over the chalkboard. Then erase it. And now you're all set to write on your board. So guys, I'm the teen coordinator, Melissa, at the library. We're going to post this video. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm at the library. My extension is 129. So give me a call or come in and talk to me. I really miss seeing you guys, and I hope to see you soon. And I hope you had fun doing this project with me. See you soon.